We're now going to take that file from the Eleiko BIM cloud and use it within the estimating software. Now the software I'm going to show today is Bidcon, so it's another group product from the Eleiko group. So first of all I'm going to start a new project and I'm going to use a template. I select this project and it's then going to give me the ability to actually bring in the IFC data from the CAD model. So first of all I'm going to give it a project name and then set that as my default. This will then actually create me a blank template to enable me to actually list various materials from my IFC model. So if I now go back into that view, I'm going to select the BIM Cloud Viewer and select Login. Select my login option and I'll now be able to see the actual CAD file which was uploaded from the Revit product. So if I select BIM Project, you can see now I have my NUF file. So by selecting that file, I will be able to select a list of materials and bring it into my Bidcon estimating application. Right, we've now refreshed our BIM viewer so you can see I've now got my CAD data. Now the rendering isn't as high quality as Revit because it does not need to be due to the speed of the file regeneration. If I select any of these objects, so I'm going to select the wall, that will actually highlight all of the associated IFC data attributed to that one wall. Down the left hand side we can see that we can switch on or off any of the data just by clicking in the boxes, and anything left on the screen is then I can then switch those off as well. So rather than take all the data back into Bidcon, I'm going to select a number of walls and then create my export option. I'm going to select the import option. So again I will actually see the list of elements I want to import, so if I wanted to change my mind and select other elements I could. Click on OK. If I now expand out my project, you can see that I've now got a list of materials to actually produce a quantity and an estimate. Now that quantity and estimate can be done in a number of ways, a manual or automated. So I'm going to select the manual way first of all on a couple of the elements and then go into the database. So if I select my basic wall structure, I'm going to actually put in a material rate, so I'm going to say that's going to cost me £40 per square metre and a time unit rate of 6. Now if I continue that with the next foundation wall, so in this case I'll do that at £38 a square metre and a time unit of 8. Now if I want to do my manual calculation of price, I then select my assign price option and it will then complete my calculations. So if I then do that for the next one down, so I've now started to actually build up my price estimate. To go through the automated process on the remaining elements, I'm going to go into my replace quantity postings, and this will bring me up a further dialog box so I can then match those elements against a database of components. So I'm going to go into my replace quantity postings, which will enable me to actually match those elements against my database. So in the top area here you can see the elements which have come through from the IFC model, and in the bottom will be my list of my database components. So first off one, I've got a basic wall, 200 millimeters. So if I scroll down my list within my favourite section and find my generic wall, I can then upload that into the top section and it will then calculate my price. If I follow this through with the next 4 items, and then I can take it back into the main estimating application. So if I select interior, look down at my favourites, what have I got? I should actually have an interior wall 165 and then upload that to the top. And just follow through with the remaining items. And finally I've got a translucent wall and upload that. So if I'm happy with all of those elements, if I just minimise this so you can see that the price calculation occurs, click on OK. So I now have my estimation complete. I'm going to now upload that back into the BIM cloud and then follow that through into Asta Power Project BIM. So if I just select my BIM browser so we can actually see the data being uploaded, select my upload or export, so you can now see the elements are being written back to the cloud. Export OK. If I enlarge the BIM viewer and do a refresh, what we'll actually now have as part of our BIM viewer application is a cost schedule. So if I just take that model there and then go into my cost schedule, we will then have a subfolder based upon the time which I created the costs, which will then produce me my cost elements which I'll take into Power Project BIM. So we then have those basic walls listed as previously noted. Once this is complete, I can then go back to the BIM viewer as a standalone application and then read that file.